In the last video, we learned about language objectives, why they are important, and what they are. In the video this week, we will talk about how a teacher can prepare language objective and when and how to use these language objectives with students. How do we create a language objective? Start with the learning objective. What is the goal for student learning and performance in class? Consider these three parts of the learning objective. Language input. What is the language they will be receiving and interacting with? Language output. What is the expected language output or writing, speaking that we expect? And lastly, what supports are in place to support that language and academic growth is occurring? For example, in science, on the left side we see the learning target drawn from the curriculum. On the right side, I added the language input, text and laboratory evidence, the language output, construct a written and diagram explanation, and the supports with the use of visual organizers, cooperative learning, and hands-on experiments. In this social studies example, the learning target from the pacing guide is on the left. On the right, the language input added was having studied a variety of text, the language output, write an analysis, and the support with cooperative learning and visual organizer supports. When and how do we use these language objectives? Develop these language objectives at the beginning of instructional cycles or important lessons and refer to them frequently during instruction so that students have that clarity on academic and linguistic expectations. Put these language objectives on assignments, on assessments, on any sort of materials that students will be using regularly to interact with. It helps them understand what they need to learn, how they will learn it, and what supports are in place to ensure that they do. In summary, this video answered the last two questions about how a teacher writes or prepares language objectives and when and how do we present those language objectives to students.